this is Pamela Baird, your boundaries coach, and let's talk boundaries, shall we? I am at a networking event for women, and it's called Pop Up and Create. And I want to share a series of videos that I created with the ladies, the entrepreneurs that are participating in this, because we're all entrepreneurs. They're all building businesses based on their gifts and talents. But how simple is it to do that if you haven't learned how to set the right boundaries? You're going to be seeing my interview with different beautiful ladies, entrepreneurs, and they are going to share with you how they've learned how to set boundaries. So stay tuned. All right. Okay, this is Pamela Baird. You know me, and let's talk boundaries, your boundaries coach. And today I am at this amazing event, Pop Up and Create. And guess what? I'm a beautiful designer. Her name is India.
So, thank you so much for having me. So, some of the important boundaries that I have to set to thrive is A, if I see any negative comments or any negative vibe or negative energy, I would just keep on smiling and always be happy and make sure that, okay, it's not going to ruin my day, it's not going to ruin my peace, and yeah.
Well, you know what that is? Actually, it's an internal boundary. You decided that you're not going to let anybody steal your joy.
Yes.
And when you walk around with that type of persona, that type of aura, and that energy, then you repel the negativity. And so you might notice that you're not experiencing as much negativity as you may have in the past because you made an internal boundary that says, I will not accept that. So congratulations on that. And I'm sure that your business is flourishing doing what you love to do just because you learned how to set the internal boundary that creates the energy that lets people know, hands off, I'm not for that drama. I'm not. And tell me a little bit about yourself and your business and what do you do?
Okay, my name is Aisha. The name of my business is Coretti and Design. You can find my business on all social medias with the same name, and it's CREATTIEANN Designs. I make crocheted swimwear and resort wear. And I also do bags and earrings, but that's my main is crochet, swimwear, and resort wear.
Right. So we just immediately connected because of the crochet. But I just want to ask her a question because I'm talking to all of the entrepreneurs here about what it's like to set boundaries in your business. In order for you to be successful, we all have to set boundaries.
Yes.
So let me talk about the time that you spend in your business because your time is key. How do you make sure that you set parameters around the time that you make possible for you to create without having the distractions getting in the way?
Well, I work also, so I have a regular job. I'm an administrative assistant for a nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
So I do that also. And I also have a family.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I always try to find time for me to create because it's just in my everything. If I'm not creating something, it drives me crazy. So it keeps me calm. It's my stress relief.
Absolutely.
So that's what I do is I crochet to keep stress away.
And how does your family deal with that?
They know they see me. Go the other way. Leave me alone.
Go the other way.
let me get this little few minutes of myself doing what I'm doing because when I'm mommy, you know, you deal with the kids, husband, and all that stuff. And then when you crocheting, that's me and my time.
Mm-hmm.
And I always try to make that sure I take that every day,
Mm-hmm.
at least once a day.
Good. I know what it's like because I'm the same way when it comes to crochet. It comes from your heart.
Yeah.
But setting parameters around your time is key, especially when you have a busy schedule. You have a job, you have a family, and you have your business.
Yeah.
And in order to set time around your business, it's so important that you communicate boundaries with the other two areas to make sure they know that this is your time.
Yeah.
I am sitting here with Ashley. And you know what? We've had an amazing conversation so far. We came up with some pretty interesting topic that I wanted to share, that I wanted her to share. And that's about what it means to be people please. What are some of the stories that we tell ourselves when we know we need to set boundaries, but there's that fear of what the outcome is going to be when we have a conversation. So talk to us a little bit about what you learned about people pleasing and minimizing that, and understanding what the outcome could be and how to accept that outcome.
Okay, so I think typically I've learned to people please, especially when I was younger, because I wanted attention from caregivers in a way that I did not know how to ask for. And so to me that became a performance. So I thought if I got good grades, or if I performed well at soccer practices and soccer games, then that would equate to more attention or more love. So as I grew up, I realized that I was translating that behavior into friendships and into relationships, and it wouldn't be where these were things that I may wanted to do for myself or that made me happy doing, but I thought it would make other people happy doing, so that's why I did it. And then as I started to see a therapist and I started to talk to her about these behaviors, like why am I struggling to tell people no, or why am I struggling to set up boundaries, one thing I realized is the fear of the fallout. Like I had difficulty, for one, I used to make up scenarios in my head, like, okay, if I don't do what this person that I care about is asking me to do, we're gonna have an issue. I'm gonna have to deal with difficult emotions that I just do not care to deal with. So let me just people please, because I know how I will feel like eventually the feelings for me will pass. But if I have to deal with these difficult emotions for them, that's unpredictable to me because I only can control my feelings. So I don't know how someone else is going to react and for how long will they react. And I just had no interest in that. But one thing that I've learned through therapy especially is, one, the scenarios in your head may never happen, so stop making them up. Stop thinking about them. And also, if this is a friendship that you care about, a relationship that you care about, it will more than likely survive the fallout, the difficult emotions. Like you're an adult and you're communicating with adults, and you should be able to communicate well enough to come to some consensus on a common ground. And so that's how I've been trying to navigate this chapter in my life.
Well, I think you're doing a great job. And a couple of things that you mentioned. One thing is that you started seeing a therapist. That is key. A lot of times we think that we can handle things on our own, but we're listening to those stories in our own head. And to get another perspective is key. So congratulating on doing that, because that is some stereotype out there that we shouldn't go see a therapist. I've seen therapists many times, and so that is key. So congratulations on that. And the other thing is understanding that it's a story that you're putting in your head that may not be true. One of the things about being fearful of that is fear is what? False evidence appearing real, not necessarily. But the really important thing that you said is that we're all adults. We should be able to have this conversation. Listen, if you're setting boundaries with someone and you're communicating those boundaries and they don't want to honor those boundaries, most likely it's not you. It's them. And it's not always a relationship that we need to keep if someone can't honor our boundaries. And so we're telling ourselves these stories about how this person's going to respond. But if that person can't honor your boundaries, you got to question. Yeah, you got to question whether that person needs to take up space in your life, whether they deserve, and whether they've earned that space in your life. And you know what? If they haven't, then we keep it moving and we save space and energy for the people that we do need to have in our lives. So thank you, Ashley. Thank you for the time that you've spent talking to me, because you shared a mouthful. You really have, because there are people out there that are afraid to set the right boundaries, to communicate those boundaries. And when you realize the things that you said, you start to realize that, you know what, I'm better than this, I'm more important than this, and I can learn to say no. And I don't have to please everybody. You know who I gotta please? I gotta please myself. That's right, there you go. I want to introduce you to Miss Sonia. Miss Sonia is a personal chef. She does amazing culinary art, and I wanted to ask her the question about setting boundaries in her business. You know, you have a couple business that you run. You're a published author, and you got it going on. So with that in mind, what particular boundaries would you suggest that people make when it comes to family with those interruptions or distractions that take you away from your business?
You might have to put like a do not disturb sign or something.
I mean,
really, you know, because they tend to think that, oh, you're available, I can, you know, come to you anytime. No, this is my time, and you are going to respect that, and I'm not going to answer the phone or, you know,
Good one.
whatever, you know, you're just going to have to learn how to respect me, just like if I was working at a, you know, Publix or, you know, whatever, you know, Bank of America or something like that. You have to respect that. And, you know, they get it. They'll fall in line eventually. And I mean, it's just always nice to have mom or grandmom available and stuff like that. And no, you're gonna have to wait until it's time.
That time.
Mm-hmm.
That is great.
Yes.
Thank you for saying that, because family boundaries are key. And if you're not sure how to set those boundaries, give me a call. I'm your girl. I'm your boundaries coach, and let's talk boundaries, shall we? I am here at this amazing event, Pop Up and Create, and we've got the owner right here sitting next to us, Lashana. So Lashana, if you tell us a little bit about you, tell us about your business and your purpose. What is it that you do?
Sure. So my name is Lashana West. I'm the owner of Pop Up and Create. I'm also a business therapist and mindset coach. So ultimately, I help people build confidence and courage to step full in their power through their voice, through content creation, so they can make more money.
That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Well, let me tell you, this event space that she has here is amazing. She has made it so welcoming. Every room here is got the energy of love and creativity. So if you want to come to a place that you can learn to get focused on creating, then this is the place.
Yes, thank you for that.
You're welcome. So Lashana, as a boundaries coach, there's a question I want to ask, and I ask a lot of entrepreneurs. And that is, what type of boundaries is important for you to set in order to be successful in your businesses?
Well, first of all, I love that you're specifically niching down to be a boundaries coach. I think a lot of times we talk around boundaries, but I really don't know many people that specifically focuses on boundaries, and I think that's important. First of all, I think boundaries is key with self, because I can't set boundaries with my mom, my daughter, my significant other, my supervisor, if I don't have boundaries for myself, right? And that's where that internal work comes into play. I have another platform called Healing While Building. So setting boundaries with self enables you to heal while you build. Build yourself as a parent, build yourself as a creative, build yourself as a woman, as a man. But if you don't have boundaries, then you're going to be rocky.
You know, and I love that you said that, because it sounds like you were really good at setting boundaries. How do you respond to people that may view your boundaries as being harsh?
Yeah, great question. So in the mental health field, we call that an extinction burst, because what happens is they're not used to you setting boundaries. So when you do, it is literally a shock to them. It's like, oh my God, she's rude, or oh my God, I can't believe it. And what I tell my clients is that the boundaries are not for the other person, they're for me, they're for you. So if someone feels that they're harsh, I have nothing to do with how they feel.
Girl, you better say it.
Okay? And another thing is you have to assess feelings versus facts. So they may feel that your boundaries are harsh, but the fact of the matter is, just because I said no, I don't want to go, or no, I won't loan you money, that's not a negative thing. That's me keeping myself safe, and probably my bank account safe.
I would say that's right. It's a matter of protection.
Yeah.
That's what boundaries are, and you're protecting yourself. So when you think about how do you separate, or how do you set boundaries around your personal life and your business?
They go together real bad, like Carisha Please. If y'all know Carisha Please, you can't separate, because what you do one way is how you do it all. If I compartmentalize and I'm like, oh, I have really good boundaries at home, but then I go to work or I'm with my clients and I'm like, hey, Lashana, what's your cell phone number? Can I text you so we can hang out? No, I have to be specific and consistent, because what it does, it confuses the brain. So if I'm wavering at work but being very rigid or strict at home, vice versa, there's going to be a disconnect. So I'm consistent, even keel. And some may say I'm rigid, or some may say that I'm too direct. Not my problem. You know when you're not incorporating healthy boundaries when you can't sleep at night because of a decision that you made. I got let go from a job after 9 years because I set clear boundaries. Did it come back to bite me? Then I thought it did, but now I see I got pushed out of the nest. And fast forward, I've been having my own business for the past 3 or 4 years and hit 6 figures for the first time in my life. So boundaries are more than just that incident. Boundaries literally are generalized in everything that we do.
Thank you for sitting here and taking some time in this beautiful space that you've created.
Thank you.
And helping women and men to understand the importance of setting healthy boundaries, not only in your business, but in your personal life as well. This is Pamela Bird, your boundaries coach, and let's talk boundaries.
Bye, guys.
Well, there you have it. What were some of your biggest takeaways, and which of these boundaries that these ladies share will you incorporate into your life? Go ahead and share it in the comments below.